Tip-off. So let's head out to Providence. The guys calling the game, Dick Stockton and Vin Parise. Guys.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. And here at the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, it is the Butler Bulldogs coming off their first win in the Big East on Saturday against the Providence Friars, fresh from a signature victory, beating Creighton in a shocking upset. They've won 3 in a row. As we welcome you on Fox College Hoops, everyone. Dick Stockton with Vin Parise here. Be prepared to stay a while. These teams have played 10 overtime games between them. But let's talk about the number 2 and number 3 scorers. Bryce Cotton, number 2 from Providence, and Kellen Dunham of Butler, number 3. Good shooters and good scorers.
Absolutely. Terrific perimeter play by both sides tonight. And it starts with last season's Big East scoring champ, Bryce Cotton. This year, number 2 in that department, but this season, he's taken another aspect of his game to the next level, and that's setting up his teammates. He's the Big East assist leader, and every good thing that's happened for Providence has gone through Cotton. And what can you say about Kellen Dunham, one of the top sophomores that this Big East Conference has? Nearly half of his shot attempts are from downtown, and for good reason, nearly 40% from three-point land.
All right, Vin, let's take a look now at the Butler starting lineup. And Cameron Woods is the leading rebounder in the Big East, just under 10, along with Eric Fromm, Kyle Marshall, and Alex Barlow. And for the Providence Friars, and they play a lot of minutes, this is an Iron Man team, and they have a very active front court in Kadeem Batts, LaDonte Hinton, and Tyler Harris, and Cooley, who engineered a great game plan that his team carried out to perfection in beating Creighton his third year. And there is Brandon Miller in his first year, taking over from Brad Stevens, now with the Boston Celtics, not very far from here, leading his team, and 1-5. As we take a look at the officials tonight, it'll be Ed Cor. And welcome back to Fox College Hoops, presentation of Big East basketball, brought to you by the New York Life Insurance Company. Well, the Butler Bulldogs, new to the Big East this year, and a lot of the Midwestern flavor in the Big East. And this is a little bit about their program history, and it's been a great program. The Hinkle Fieldhouse, backdrop for the movie Hoosiers, and they have been magic there, winning so well. And of course, the NCAA finalists in 2010 and 2011. One of the great stories of college basketball.
Oh, one of the great stories indeed. And first off, I'm in the mood to watch Hoosiers now when I get home. But second off, it's the biggest reason Brad Stevens got that Boston Celtics job. Just amazing from a mid-major perspective what they accomplished those years.
So they were in the Horizon League, then in the Atlantic 10. This is their third league in as many years, as LaDonte Hinton draws the foul. And before we went to break, Woods committed the foul, his second.
Hinton to the line, 2 shots.
Talking with Brandon Miller earlier today at the shoot-around about asking him his thoughts on Brad Stevens. Said, I've never met a guy who is so intelligent and smart with numbers from a hoops perspective, yet also so good with people and relating to the players. Wisdom beyond his years.
And now in New England, coaching the Boston Celtics. It shows that he can come from a mid-major in college basketball and make the big jump. Meanwhile, Elijah Brown replaced Cameron Woods, who's on the bench with 2 fouls. And here's a good move inside by Marshall for the field goal. And Butler takes a 2-point lead.
This zone at times, the last couple of weeks, has been good for the Friars, but anytime you're able to flash and catch it at the elbow, it's going to hurt your interior defense.
Here's Batts working inside. And trying to control the tempo, and the kick ball out of bounds. And our first substitutions in the game, Andrew Travis coming in for Butler, and Carson DeRozan checking in for Providence, as Josh Fortune goes to the bench, as does Eric Fromm.
You're going to see a lot of this action. Ball reversals, back screens. They like to share the rock. They do not beat themselves.
Marshall has the first attempt tipped away by DeRozan. 5 on the shot clock now for Elijah Brown. And here's Barlow firing up a three from his hip, way off the mark. And Providence with a chance to tie it up or take the lead. Rozier playing some good minutes off the bench in the win against Creighton. Second in shot blocks in the league, and Travis tried to knock it out of bounds or try to recover the ball, but it was last touched by Creighton. Providence has 16 seconds on the clock.
Tell you, these Butler Bulldogs moving on every single pass. See 5 black jerseys jump into the ball, guys in good help side position. And to apply that ball pressure, Dick, and not foul, that's the key to take teams out of their offensive rhythms.
Interesting how some of these newer teams don't have the traditional Big East, blood and guts kind of play inside. Here is Cotton with a move against Barlow and misses. Ball knocked away. Brown has it. And here comes Butler, leading by 2. This is a team with NCAA pedigree. Even though there are only 2 players on the team that were on the previous club, kind of rubs off on the rest.
It rubs off, and I think that's the biggest reason the freshmen and sophomores have played so well.
Driving around the basket, trying to take an off-balance shot there was Kellen Dunham, and a foul is called. So we have a Providence foul. And Kadeem Batts called for his first personal foul. Well, so far it's 9-7. And in this game, LaDontae Henton has all 7 Providence points as Dunham hits the first free throw.
And you see a big reason there why he's top 3 in the league in scoring. He's deceiving sometimes with his quickness. You take away that 3-point look, and then he has a quicker first step than you think.
Fromm comes back in, and Marshall goes to the bench. Marshall scoring 4 points in the game. And Harris will check out of the game. And Fortune is back in. Providence does not have a deep bench at all. Chris Dunn, who they had counted on, unable to play because of the shoulder surgery. 2 other players, highly promising, left the team as Fortune misses from the side. Last touched by Butler, out of bounds. It'll be Butler's possession.
Good little shot fake right there, and looked like it was off Butler that time. Maybe a Fryer from behind. Ed Cooley trying to plead his case to the officials at the other end.
Henton committing the foul, his first. Dunham. This is the 3, and Batts does a good job screening out Fromm out of bounds, and Providence with the ball. 11-7 the score. Friars have not had the lead in this game. Nearly 8 minutes gone by.
To run this flex offense, Ed Cooley worked for Al Skinner at Boston College, and this was their bread and butter half-court offense.
And here's Fortune driving the baseline. Good defense. Brown on Henton. Batts fires and misses.
That is the 3rd possession. The Friars have taken it down to the end of the shot clock.
Great steal by Fortune as he picked Brown's pocket, goes behind, throws it away, and Providence trying to save it. They can't, over and back, and it'll be Butler's ball.
Big time hustle by the big fella Batts, but that's the correct call by the officials.
Timeout. Butler has led all the way thus far. Ed Cooley looking to get some answers here.
A cold night in Newark, and it's been a chilly reception for the visiting Xavier Musketeers, who trail Seton Hall by 12 at the half, 32-20. Welcome back, everybody. Rich Ackerman along with Vin Parise. And Vin, Xavier seemingly turned the corner with wins over Creighton and St. John's. Seton Hall came in with 3 straight losses, but it looks like they've turned the tables here tonight.
And they're getting it done inside and out, Rich. Early in the game, Kevin Willard was getting good presence on the inside by his front line. Guys had a nose for the basketball. They were picking up and cleaning up garbage in the paint. Eugene Teague was getting defenders on his back and getting high percentage looks. But this is the reason why the Hall is up by 12 right now. 6 out of their 10 field goal attempts and makes from deep.
And conversely, it's been a tough night from three-point range for Xavier, which struggled mightily in the first game. 2 for 14, that first meeting 1 for 10 tonight. And Seton Hall will have the ball to start the second half, and we're underway with the Pirates up by 12.
If you would ask Kevin Willard before the game, Coach, you're going to have 10 field goals in the first 20 minutes. 6 of them are going to be from downtown. Do you think he would have taken it?
Absolutely. I don't know if he would have signed on for as many three-point attempts.
That's right.
Maybe going for the high percentage shot, but he'll certainly take all the makes. There's no question about that. And Teague picked up his second foul.
13 of the 24 looks from deep.
Kristen had a slow first half, gets going on the opening possession, and he now has 6. So Shamaje Kristen, who comes in averaging just under 17 a game, with 6 so far tonight. And it's back to 10. Here's Oliver. Ryan Oliver is feeling it from three-point range. He is 4 for 4.
That was tremendous action out of their half-court offense. Quick pick and roll by Teague, and then the down screen for Oliver.
D. Davis, the floater. Fillmore had it knocked away by Oliver, who's doing it on both ends, except the turnover.
A little bit too much.
Kristen going in on Oliver and draws the foul and scored.
Seton Hall opens up the second half. How the first half was ending. Oliver, tremendous footwork early. And that was legal. That was a Euro step, took the hit. Crowd not liking it, but just because it looks like a travel, the correct one by John Gaffney.
So Kristen with a strong start to the second half. He has 5 in the second half, had 4 in just the first half. So he has 5 in the first minute and change. Already his output is greater than the first half. Teague spinning and gets the roll.
Teague has a glow in his eyes, Rich, right now. You can sense the big man Stainbrook not on the interior for Chris Mack. He wants to post this club up every chance he gets.
Kristen again. Samaje Kristen with 7 in the second half. All of Xavier's points in the first minute 45.
Well, he's the top gun out there for Chris Mack. He's got to put it on his shoulders right now if they're going to get back in this one.
As you mentioned, Stainbrook out with a knee injury suffered in the first half. And Martin picks up his second. So we talked about the foul trouble for the Xavier front court, those that are still active tonight. Reynolds, Fillmore, and Martin, all with 2. And Gibbs short on that one. Gibbs started the season with an outstanding free throw percentage. At one point was up to 84%. He has slumped since and is at 74% and misses both. So an opportunity for Xavier to get within single digits right here. Kristen has had the hot hand, working on Mobley. And Kristen, one more time. He has all 9 of Xavier's points early on in this second half. 13 overall. Boy, he got hot in a hurry.
That was contested out of his own.
Mobley in and out, and a rebound to Kristen. Fillmore thought about the foul line jumper. Miles Davis, and blocked by Mobley who gets called for the foul, and he was not happy at all with that one.
There's a reason Kristen was preseason first team All-League and why he's been at the forefront of Xavier's big wins recently. He can do damage off the bounce, and he could do just as much damage on the perimeter.
So here's Miles Davis from Plainfield, New Jersey, who played for Danny Hurley at St. Benedict's. Hurley, of course, now at Rhode Island, and Davis comes up short on the first. Has a great touch and great range, but shooting under 70% from the free throw line, hits 1 of 2. It's down to 7. Oliver off the mark that time, and a strong rebound by Justin Martin. Kristen ahead of steam, off balance. And Samaje Kristen has been a one-man show in the early moments of the second half. A 7-0 run for Xavier.
And I like that they've turned it up a gear with their transition. No Stainbrook. Chris Mack's able to go smaller and quicker.
And Kevin Willard will talk things over, calling for the timeout, trying to come up with the answer of how to stop Samaje Kristen.
Welcome to the Ford Fox College Hoops pregame, sponsored by Ford. Go further. We are in Providence, Rhode Island. The Dunkin' Donuts Center representing the MAC. It's the Fairfield Stags, and from the Big East, it's the Providence Friars. Hi there, folks, and happy holidays, one and all. This is Vin Parise. My name is Darren Sutton, and obviously the insights from a former coach as you talk about a guy I'm sure you would have loved to have handled. One of the great for Providence, all-around scorers in the Big East, but he's handling the ball well. He's doing everything for his squad.
And it's Bryce Cotton, who Ed Cooley has one of the purest three-point shooters in the nation. But the Friars have been getting it done on the defensive end as well. Now Fairfield, 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen, in the starting lineup for Sidney Johnson. They're one of the youngest teams in the nation.
They hope that Fairfield, we're talking about them later on today. It's the 38th meeting between these two. Providence has won just about all of them. Will they shock everyone? They're about 2 hours apart. In 2 hours, we'll know. Wonderful holiday crowd. Of course, school is in break, and the 38th meeting between these two, 32, have gone to Providence. A very young starting lineup for the Fairfield Stags. As a matter of fact, there is not an upperclassman in the bunch. The most dangerous scorer is Marcus Gilbert. He is a sophomore out of Delaware. Bryce Cotton is having to play the role of point guard with Chris Dunn battling injury, so we will watch Cotton share the basketball as well. You have to go back to the 60s. The 60s, the last time that Fairfield was victorious. Providence has dominated this series, but of course, a shocker is what the Fairfield Stags are looking for. Vinny and I certainly glad you're spending your afternoon with all of us, and we trust you've enjoyed to this point your holiday. We're glad to be bringing you Big East basketball here on Fox Sports 1. Providence, as we talked about, one of the most valuable and well-rounded squads over the last decade, off to a 6-1 start this season. They were 19-15 last year, 9-9 in the Big East. Of course, the new Big East this year. The likes of Butler joining the crew.
It'll be interesting to see the start here for Ed Cooley's crew. Some rugged, low-scoring games at the Paradise Jam, but the Friars like to run it home.
Folks at home, let's play some college basketball, and we're certainly glad you are with us. Providence offensively has some power on the inside. Kadeem Batts can make a difference, certainly. He has the basketball. Quick jump hook in the paint, and he puts it home.
That's what Batts has taken to the next level. That touch on that inside interior of the defense. And Fairfield, as expected, starting with a little zone. They will change defenses repeatedly.
A little bit of light pressure for Providence. That one is knocked out of bounds by LaDante Henton. We keep an eye on LaDante as he is 3 points shy of that coveted 1,000 in his career. kind of an effort guy, a do-everything guy for Providence.
Stat sheet stuffer in so many columns.
Up and under and fighting to earn that one. There he is, Marcus Gilbert, averaging 11 points, about 5 rebounds a game.
He's the top offensive weapon that Sidney Johnson has for the Stags. And Ed Cooley at the shoot-around this morning went over a lot of zone offense, and they're needing it here early.
Providence really takes care of the basketball, as you can see. Lead pass, Cotton underneath. LaDante Henton at 9.99 in his career.
And so good sneaking behind the back lines of those zones.
Team captain in the miss, Sidibe, Amadou Sidibe. A little runner and a pretty touch for Josh Fortune, the Virginia native and the sophomore.
Fortune normally has to get it done from the perimeter. That time, surprise, no red jersey was there. Had the easy floater in the lane.
Providence off to a 6-2 start, a minute and a half in. We've seen both teams a little light pressure on the inbound. Certainly not any sort of a full court press out of the gates. There he is again with an answer. Fortune after just scoring a moment ago. He's got Harris out front. Harris up and under. Harris with the roll. That's Tyler Harris. Now this is a young man that may help take this team to the next level in the Big East.
Absolutely. As Sidney Johnson needs a quick TO, but Harris is the guy that Ed Cooley was excited about this entire offseason, coming from NC State, and it's because of his versatility. He's so good in the half court offensively, but Tyler Harris has repeatedly shown you this season that he's an athlete as well, finishing on the end of the fast break.
Perfect 4 of 4 from the floor and getting a lot of easy looks. They're earning them.
Yeah, and you know, for the Friars, they like to push the pace. They will run more at home than they do on the road. They'll run more here today than they did in the Paradise Jam, and it's when Ed Cooley is at his happiest, when the defense triggers the offense at the other end.
So that Paradise Jam, Coach Cooley shared with you, he's a little bit disappointed with his offense. This is exactly what he is looking for, these type of shots.
Yeah, they played teams that were very strong defensive transition-wise. Vanderbilt, Maryland, those are not easy teams to run on. He's thrilled about their defensive side of the ball. He wishes shots would drop a little bit more often, especially early.
Sean Brennan is into the game for Fairfield, another sophomore. There are some upperclassmen on the Fairfield squad, but this is truly Sidney Johnson's team as he took over a couple of years ago, the head coach. Pretty pass and unable to convert underneath. That one hammered away. Kadeem Batts does that so well. Malcolm Gilbert, the older brother, with the miss. Up and under, there's the bucket. Kadeem Batts after swatting it on the other end.
That wasn't fair that time with shorter Brennan trying to cover the big boy Batts down low.
Marcus Gilbert has 4 points already. A little bit of pressure. It's light from Fairfield.
A little 1-2-2 three-quarter court. More to control the tempo, slow the offense down, and set up the zone in the half court.
Talked about Providence playing down in the Virgin Islands in that tournament. Cotton through the lane, slices, dices, and puts it home. Bryce Cotton, the best all-around player, his first 2 points.
Returning Big East scoring champ, but that's the polish in his game in the offseason. That little runner and floater's gone to the next level.
You were talking about maybe just liking to step back and spot up and shoot a lot more. Tyler Harris with the left side gets it done. Use the right as his lead.
How many guys 6'8", 6'9" could handle it like that? Not just in the half court, but in transition.
Providence a perfect 7 of 7 from the floor. Off to a 10-point lead, forcing another turnover. And a foul in transition. We're still enjoying the energy of Batts, blocking shots, rebounding.
Kadeem Batts was the Big East most improved player last year, and it's because of his efficiency on both ends of the floor. But this is what Ed Cooley loves about him. Gets the block at one end, he runs the floor like a guard sometimes, really hustles rim to rim, and you love to see that energy out of your big guys.
It's fun to watch, game changer. It's going to make you earn it physically. And nearly picked off. Hinton ends up with the basketball. Batts getting close to 1,000 points himself. Came in at 955. experienced world as a point guard. That one batted away. Carson DeRocher is in. The big fella stands at 7 feet, couldn't hold on. First turnover for Providence. And they whistle the big man, Kadeem Batts, as well. Tyler Harris transferred from NC State, immediately making an impact. You want to move to the top of the Big East, you better have bigs that can do this.